My next guest doubling down on his call for no rate hikes. I'm going to bring a Wells Fargo advisor, Senior Vice President Mark Smith. All right, Mark, a lot of folks in the street still betting on rate cuts. Listen, maybe if it doesn't happen by July, it might not be able to happen because of the election. But you've been saying no, and it looks like more and more like you're probably right.
Yeah, look at the numbers, Charles. CPI, PPI, core CPE, inflation. None of those are telling the Fed they need to do anything. And guess what? We got an election in November. And last time I checked, the Fed is a part of the government. You got to think about politics when you think about government. And I don't see them going up or down on rates. Given November's an election, it's going to look too preferential to one party or the other.
I don't know the Fed. Did anybody tell the Fed they were part of the government? What about we just had this conversation with Gary. You were listening to most of it. Before you said your clients are pounding you. Get me in those Mag 7 names. Get me in those Mag 7 names. They still have that same sort of veracity. Do they still want to have these stocks that much?
Listen, all these stocks are looking like they're going to be generational holes, which means that if you believe in
your clients believe that, though.
I think so, because when I talk to them, they're always talking about the next thing in tech.
Right.
And if that's all you're talking about, you want to invest in that, and you see long-term growth potential. AI is giving the tech sector new life, and it's still a new story. Last time I checked, most companies right now are still just looking to implement the technology, and that's why I think it's such a powerful story for decades to come.
Great point. I got Sylvia Jablonski on. We're going to dive even deeper into that, just how much quickly they're trying to catch up almost all these companies. In the meantime, there's some sectors you like. I want to talk about that. This is the last 3 months. So financials, you like a lot here. You still like financials?
I still like financials.
Are there two separate, though? Do you separate the big banks from small banks?
Absolutely. The big banks have proved that they can make money in any environment. They've gotten leaner and meaner coming out of the pandemic, and you got to think about, with rates this high, they're making more than ever. And with net interest margin, if things can settle down with rates, I think they'll find a way to continue to make more money with that as well.
Last 3 months, industrials up 8.1%, and materials, XLB, up 8.5%. There's only one sector, energy, is the only thing that's outperformed that. You would still buy these?
I would. Charles, there are 50,000 projects around the country, infrastructure, that came out of the deal out of Congress,
right.
Bipartisan deal. And that's all going to work. They're buying all materials. They're going into Caterpillar. They got to get these projects done. And there's a lot of excitement about it. And I would definitely be in these sectors because you need this stuff to build the country.
I know you like gold. Gavical Research, one of my favorite firms, put out this real intriguing piece about U.S., German, France, mostly Eurozone bonds, essentially saying that they're worthless, that they're certificates of confiscation. To own them, you're down here, right? You're not making any money. And if anyone's thinking about owning them, they should instead own gold, which is breaking out. I know you like gold. What do you think about that assessment?
Listen, I like the fact that gold is a play that's international. It's got a track record going back 2,000 plus years. And you also see that with the proliferation of Bitcoin, that gold is being sought after even more because of the fact that a lot of people think Bitcoin is fugazi. So whether you think that or not is one or the other, but only like 10% of America owns Bitcoin. I think less last time I checked.
Right.
And so when you think about that, I like gold, given all the different hostilities around the world, whether it's in Ukraine or in Iran. Gold, again, is a hedge.
Store of value or more? It's not just a store of value, but something you can actually make some real good money on in the next few years.
It's a store of value. I think it evens out the portfolio from some of the equity risks we're taking.
Right.
And it's also great when you got potential wars on the pipe. So,
Great stuff.
Good to see you, Charles.
Thanks a lot, Mark.